welcome back to our online program, and we've been talking about figuring out how to make a decision, how to take action. And people in early recovery typically struggle with this. There's so many options available to them, for example, for a career or maybe going back to school, that they really struggle settling on an option, just going for it. So we're just offering some tips on how to deal with this. And one of the best tips is the idea to just do the next right thing. There's an American writer, Lamont, and she wrote a fiction and nonfiction, and her nonfiction was basically about herself. And here's what she said about herself. She said, "I took a long, deep breath and wondered, as usual, where to start. You start where you are is the secret of life. You do the next right thing you can see, and then the next." And this simple principle of doing the next right thing solves an awful lot of what appears to be confusing or perplexing problems. So for example, if you're wandering down the street and you see a wallet on the ground just loaded with money, what do? Well, according to Lamont, you do the next right thing. Which basically we all know what that means, right? It basically means return it to the owner. Although, it could be kind of useful, all that cash, right? Because my credit card's run up and I really need money, but do the next right thing, right? Or if you're on the bus and somebody's being harassed, well, what do? You do the next right thing, right? And so these problems that people in early recovery will typically struggle with all of a sudden seem to get very clear as long as they follow this principle of doing the next right thing. And it's a kind of curious thing about human nature is that we do seem to know what the next right thing is. Of course, doing it is another issue, but the idea that each of us actually knows what the next right thing is at the basis of this concept. So whenever you are stuck in a dilemma or you've got a really tough choice, just it's a good principle to follow. Just do the next right thing. And often everything clears up. Anyway, that's it for this episode, and we'll be back next time with another episode on our figuring out what to do.